You ever had someone look you in the eye and tell you that you're not good enough, that your dream's too big? You should just be realistic. I've heard it, I've lived it. But let me tell you this, their doubt is not your destiny. You better block out that noise because your purpose is waiting and it's louder than their fear. Let me break something down for you, real clear, real honest. Negativity, that stuff is everywhere. It's in the news, it's in your group chat, it's on your feed, it's that voice in the back of your head whispering doubts when no one's around. It creeps into your life so quietly that you barely notice it, but it's loud when it wants to be. It's loud when you start to dream. It's loud when you say, I want more. That's when the noise shows up. You're not good enough. You don't have what it takes. People like you don't make it. Be realistic. You should be happy where you are. Lies. All of it. And the worst part, we start to repeat it to ourselves. We don't even need the world to tear us down. We start doing the job for them. We become our own enemy, echoing the same fear, the same hesitation, the same disbelief. But here's the truth. That's all noise. Just noise. And noise can't stop a person who's tapped into purpose. Because when you've got purpose, you walk different, you move different. You wake up with something burning in your gut, not for approval, not for applause, but because you know you were built for more. Purpose isn't about being loud. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't beg for permission. Purpose whispers, and when you listen to it, everything changes. I remember sitting in that barbershop in Mount Vernon, broke, unsure, no script in my hand, no Oscar, no suit, just a wild dream in my chest and 100 reasons not to chase it. But something in me said, keep going. I couldn't explain it to anybody. It didn't make sense. It didn't need to. That was purpose. That was that quiet fire that said, this life ain't over until I built what I was born to build. See, purpose gives you tunnel vision. It keeps you focused while the world's shouting distractions. While others are wasting energy on doubt, on gossip, on what ifs, you're dialed in. Because when you know why you're here, truly know, then no negativity, no critic, no setback can break you. It might bend you, yeah? Life will hit you, but it won't break you. Because purpose is power. Power to keep moving when your legs are shaking. Power to smile when everything around you is chaos. Power to build something out of nothing. And that power, it doesn't come from what people think of you. It comes from what you believe about yourself when the room is quiet and the spotlight's off. So when the noise gets loud, and it will, don't fight it with more noise. Don't argue. Don't try to convince the world. Just get quiet and remember what you're here to do. Because the noise is temporary, but purpose is permanent. Let me tell you something real. You cannot fly with anchors tied to your wings. You can't rise when you're constantly surrounded by weight. Some of you are trying to build dreams in the middle of noise, in the middle of chaos, around people who don't see what you see. And that's the problem. You're trying to soar, but you're surrounded by shadows. You ever seen an eagle flying with pigeons? No, you haven't. Because eagles don't run in flocks, they fly alone, high, focused, in silence. While pigeons are on the ground, flapping, squawking, chasing crumbs, the eagle is above all that, locked in on the next mountain. See, not everyone's built for your altitude. Not everyone's supposed to understand your mission. And if you keep trying to bring everybody with you, if you keep dimming your light to make other people comfortable, you're going to stall your own growth. There are people in your life right now who only know how to survive, and they're uncomfortable when they see you trying to thrive. People who only know how to complain, and they panic when you start creating. People who gave up on themselves years ago And now they're trying to plant that same doubt in you. And if you're not careful, if you don't guard your space, their fear will start to feel like your truth. It's not just about what's around you, it's about what's in you. Because some of the shadows ain't people, they're thoughts, old beliefs, old trauma, old limits. That voice in your head that says, stay here, don't stand out, don't aim too high. That voice was born out of pain, born out of failure. But just because it's familiar doesn't mean it's right. Just because it's loud doesn't mean it's true. I've been there. I've walked into rooms where I felt out of place. Rooms where nobody looked like me, talked like me, thought like me. But I didn't shrink. I didn't adapt to make them comfortable. I reminded myself, I didn't come this far to blend in. I came to break through. And that means I had to leave some people behind. That means I had to be okay being the only one climbing while others stayed on the ground, laughing, judging, stuck. Because at the end of the day, your dreams need room to breathe. Your vision needs space to grow. You can't keep planting roses in the dark and wondering why they won't bloom. You need sunlight. You need air. You need distance from the shadows. And yeah, it gets lonely. It gets quiet. You might lose people. You might lose comfort. But let me tell you what you gain. Clarity, peace, focus. The kind of inner strength that doesn't need permission, doesn't need approval, and doesn't flinch when the world doubts you. You want to soar? Then stop nesting with those who never left the ground. Stop explaining yourself to people who were never meant to get it. Stop watering dead plants hoping they'll grow. You are not meant to live your life stuck in the opinions, fears, and limits of people who gave up on their own greatness. You were born to fly, but first, you got to step out of shadows. Fear will paralyze you before failure ever does. That's the truth nobody likes to say out loud. Most people don't fall because they tried and lost. They fall because they never moved. They never stepped. They stood still, trapped in the what ifs, waiting for the stars to align, waiting for a perfect plan, waiting for permission to live. But the people who change the world, the ones who build legacy, they don't walk with fear. They walk with faith. Faith doesn't mean you know exactly how it's all going to work out. It means you take the step anyway. You move even when your knees are shaking. You speak even when your voice trembles. You show up when no one claps for you, no one texts you back, no one sees the vision but you. That's faith. It's not about comfort. It's not about guarantees. It's about trusting the calling more than the circumstances. See, fear will always try to convince you that now's not the time. It'll tell you to wait, to shrink, to stay safe. But faith, real faith, it pushes you forward. It tells you this pain has a purpose. It tells you you don't need all the answers to take the next step. And sometimes that's all you get, just one step. But you take it, and then the next one shows up, and the next. That's how you move mountains, one trembling step at a time. I remember praying for direction in my darkest hours. Doors were closing, roles were drying up. Doubt was growing louder in my own head. But I didn't stop. I didn't sit in the dark and wait for somebody to save me. I moved. I stayed in motion because I knew this. You can't steer a parked car. You got to move. You got to trust that God, the universe, whatever you believe in, it meets you in motion, not in fear. And faith doesn't make you passive, it makes you powerful. Because when you believe in something greater than your fear, you become dangerous to the doubt around you. You stop looking for shortcuts. You stop chasing trends. You get rooted in something unshakable. You develop discipline, not hype, not motivation, discipline. That quiet promise you make to yourself, I will keep going, I will keep building, I will not fold. And yeah, you'll get tired, you'll fall, you'll hear that voice in your head saying, see, told you it wouldn't work, but faith talks back. Faith says, get up. One more time. You've come too far to quit here. And that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Not talent, not luck, but how many times you're willing to get back up when fear tells you to stay down. You gotta walk with vision in a world built on distraction. You gotta move with purpose when people around you are standing still. You gotta walk with faith, not because it's easy, but because everything you've been called to do lives on the other side of that fear. And the truth is, nobody's coming to save you. You either step into who you're meant to be, or you stay in the shadows of what could have been. The decision's yours, every single day. So walk like it. Walk with purpose, walk with power, walk with faith, even when it's dark, even when it's heavy, especially then, because fear may look big, but faith moves mountains. So now you know negativity is always going to be out there. Loud, messy, persistent, but you don't have to answer it. You don't have to shrink when it shows up. You don't have to fold when fear knocks, because there's something louder, something stronger, something more eternal than any voice trying to break you down. And that's the voice of purpose. You block out negativity not by fighting it, but by outgrowing it, by rising above it, by walking so deep in faith that doubt don't even recognize you anymore. You were not made to live small. You were not designed to stay stuck. You were born with a gift. And the world may not see it yet, but that's not your job. Your job is to protect it, water it, walk it out. You don't need applause to keep moving. You don't need permission to dream. You don't need a crowd to validate your calling. You need faith. You need discipline. You need the courage to say, this is my life, my story, and I'm writing it with boldness, not fear. So starting today, cut the noise, kill the doubt, walk like the version of you that's already done it. Because deep down, you know you didn't come this far just to blend in. You came to break through. You came to soar. You came to block out negativity. And now it's time to rise.